Hi Libra, it's Mary Jo from Enchantress Tarot. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here to do your tarot reading for October 2020. We do have some energy changing, as in, let's see, Saturn, that was retrograde, is going direct September 29th. Pluto, which is in retrograde, in that tight conjunction with Saturn since last year, wreaking havoc on the world in Capricorn, is going direct October 4th. And then Jupiter, which is retrograde, that's been dancing along with them, like, hey, let me catch up, is also going to be going direct, but not till I believe November. So anyway, we look at the restrictions that Saturn brings on us, right? It represents government, prisons, buildings, old paradigms, time slow, karma, father time, the male paradigm, old patriarchal ways of beings that invented this stuff 1,000 or more years ago, and they're all dead. So it's not serving us, all these old structures. And you could see in Capricorn, which is your strengths in the outer world, your fame and reputation, all of this is being looked at in the world right now. And Saturn can have a very destructive energy because it's a foundation. With Pluto there, Pluto is diving deep, uncovering the mysteries, the secrets that's going on, the lies, and it will eviscerate whatever it touches because it's powerful. That is its word, power, desire. So when Pluto destroys something, it rebuilds it with something better. Okay, it replaces it. It's a transformation, an alchemical process. It's life, death, and rebirth because Pluto is the modern day ruler of Scorpio. And we know Scorpio is all about lies and deception, the deep psyche, the mysteries, the super sleuth, the detective. So all of these things in these areas of the 10th house of Capricorn are coming up for a destruction and a rebuilding, the phoenix. Okay, and then Jupiter, once it comes along, will give that abundance, playfulness again, that adventure back to us. So that being said, depending on where Capricorn is in your chart, Libra, and it is also a cardinal sign, as are you, Aries, and Cancer, you're feeling this because it squares your house. So it gives you challenges, okay? Things to rise above, okay? With that being said, let's see what we have for Libra and Libra-centric people for October 2020. I have noticed a lot of pentacles coming up. So a lot of people are dealing with their jobs and finances, the health and well-being of whether or not they're grounded, education, their work, their trade. All right, let's see. Four of Cups is talking about you being forlorn. Perhaps you're discontent with what's going on. Well, yeah, a lot of people are. But especially with Librans, even though you're an air sign, you do tend to weigh in on things a bit too heavily in your head. And this is affecting you emotionally. We had talked about this last month, about it's time for you to release yourself from the emotional and mental things that were going on. Now, this card is in this immediate past position. So I will say with the Four, it's a time of completion or stopping, ending. And with the Four of Cups, it's saying that you need to stop or are going to stop with this emotional grievance that you're feeling, this feeling of discontentment, unhappiness. This is Moon in Cancer, okay? So here, like everything that you had pleasures in, maybe you can't attain right now, or it's not reachable to the fullest amount that you want. So for many of you, you're rethinking. You're rethinking like what gave you emotional pleasure before, and now you're wondering through all of this that has happened, do I feel the same way about this person or this situation or thing? Many of you will be putting aside or letting go of or changing the direction or the relationship you're having with this person, place, or situation, this thing that you once felt very content with. You had pleasure from it. And like I said, it could be a relationship you're ending, a relationship with the people at work, a love relationship, your friends at school, the source of income that you were getting from something that you thought you loved. If you were an artist or a musician, whatever your field was, and you had great joy, you were emotionally attached to it. It may feel like after this whole thing, you're rethinking the way you were feeling about this, and you're wanting more. There's something else you're longing for. And now that you have emotionally disconnected from this and don't have any mental tie to it, you're awaiting this new opportunity that you're ready to drink from, the cup of pleasure, joy, happiness, contentment, your bliss. So I feel like Librans will be embarking on a very new journey. And it's going to be more like emotional for you, where you're starting to feel like, you know, when something's brand new and you're so excited when you get it, that's how it feels for you. Like this whole new, brand new feeling. And what you were feeling before, disconnected or maybe aloof, you know, and that's a good word for Librans. You can be aloof or disconnected. You're ready to accept something new that is going to inspire you. You know, I see all this yellow and orange here. That's creativity and empowerment. Something new is coming your way that you feel inspired and impassioned about again. And it's a good card here. We have the fulcrum on here, and you know that you're the only sign that doesn't have a human or a being that is like a livestock or wildlife. You have this fulcrum, the scale. And 6 is the number of Venus. Venus does rule you in Taurus. And this is a Tauran card with the 6 of Pentacles. So let's just see what we got here. There's something tipping in your favor. It's a feeling of a generosity. It's a feeling of abundance. It's a feeling of stability. Now, this is Moon in Taurus. So you have 2 cards with the Moon, which is unusual with Librans, you know, because like I said, you keep your emotions in check. The air signs typically do. But with Taurus, we know it's ruled by Venus. And so is Libra. And here's the scales, the number of balance, harmonic balance. That's what you're all about in things in your life. I'm not saying you don't get pissed off and argue with people, but I'm just saying you would prefer things being complacent and everybody playing nice. That being said, it feels like something coming your way, and you're ready to receive this. You see the hands are there. What are you going to give me? What am I going to get? What can I have? That's Taurus, right? And this tipping of the scales in your favor is going to bring you grounding. Now, for some of you, you're returning to work or your trade, and the money's starting to flow back in. And it even could be for some of you, like if you took a pay cut, it's going to be restored. Now, these readings go out about 3 months, so this could be as far as December, January. For others of you, if it was with school, because for me, the pentacles represent knowledge or whatever you make your living with, your trade or vocation, your chosen career. It feels like that's being restored. So whether it's you're going back to school, brick and mortar, or you decided to go back to school because you missed the socialization of it, the emotion of the connection of people. You know, it's tipping in your favor. You're going back into the classroom. You're surrounded by people again. You're experiencing that grounded stability when you socialize and have others around you. And for others of you, it's in general, it's a windfall coming to you. So it could be the stimulus check if they're giving that again in America. It could be something to do with your salary. Like I said, some of you will be restored your salary, and maybe even in your job, you're leaving that job and you're picking something else that you've been wondering about and starting that, and it pays off better for you financially, but even more so where you feel very grounded and safe. Let me just see this. Because, you know, we have these columns and an archway. I really feel like you're protected at this time financially and your health and your overall well-being of you feeling grounded. Like usually your head is in the air. This is like boots on the ground for you, Libra, and you feel like things are coming your way. It may have gone back to May when this happened for you too. Like you lost your job or were furloughed or laid off and had to get unemployment, or they cut your salary, you know, or you found that you couldn't go back to school, or you weren't getting the grant money. So it may have been back in May at the time of Taurus, but it's going to move forward for you now, because here's the Judgment card. Now, we know with Judgment, it's a major arcana. This is an opportunity for you to start a new life, Libra. This is not the old and what was. This is Pluto. And I talked to you in the beginning about what Pluto is doing. And when Pluto dissolves things, it rebuilds it, it replaces it. It is the phoenix, okay? Because Pluto is the modern day ruler of Scorpio. And Scorpio is the scorpion in the lowest vibration, the eagle as it evolves, seeing things from a higher perspective above matter and between the ephemeral. And then the highest form of Scorpio is the phoenix. It burns off from the ashes and rises anew. So this is what's happening. You see, like, all these spirits are coming out of their tombs. They kept themselves entombed, imprisoned in misery. They're breaking free. They're forgiving themselves for their past indiscretions or ignorances, that they wouldn't listen to their guides and angels or their higher self to have something better. This is transformational energy, life, death, and rebirth. That's Scorpio. The ancient ruler was Mars. Mars rules Aries. So these are two very powerful dynamic energies. And Mars is retrograde in Aries, and it's like one of the longest times. It's 6 weeks. It doesn't usually stay that long. So that's all about the self, and that's your polarity. Where Libra wants to rise to the highest form of Aries, Aries wants to rise to the highest form of Libra. It's not that you oppose each other. You are each other's balance. Where you are about harmonic balance and with others and relationships and justice, Aries is about the self. How am I going to improve me? How am I going to be my best me? So this is an opportunity. If you heed the call, Gabriel's calling you to this new opportunity, this new life, and waking you from this emotional dead that you were in and saying, hey man, I got something better for you, and I'm offering you this opportunity to be happier, to feel alive again. And remember I was saying, you know, you're like a child giddy and new again. This is the opportunity you have to be renewed, to be restored. And like everyone is saying, we're going to go back to the world. But how will you go back to the world? How will you show up in the world? Many of us will not return to the world the way we were before, and we are returning to a world that is different than before. So this is your new life that you're being called to. And this is something major for you to rise to. Not against, but rise above, rise to, and elevate yourself and free yourself. It is a card of choice. You have the choice. You either will or you won't. You're going to do it or you're going to don't. So it's yours to do. But it is a great opportunity for you to start again. It's like a reboot. You know, they have, this is a major arcana. This is Virgo. And we're looking at the wisdom of Virgo. Now, Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Mercury it's an air kind of energy. It also rules Gemini. So let's just see what we have here based on what you're reading. So Gemini, we have communication. Virgo analyzes everything. Long-term planning, it discerns the truth. You know, Virgo kind of plays out the scenarios of what can go wrong, because they're the worry warts. But at least they are in a higher vibration, planning out and looking for any pending dangers. Like here, he's looking in carefully at watching his step for any pending danger or doom, okay? And all he has is this light, because he's trusting his senses to lead him, to guide him. And that's what you'll be doing here. And with this 9 energy, we have a culmination here of things coming together. Oh, and we do have the Aries full moon coming up in October. So that's another polarity of yours of the cardinal signs, Libra, too. So things will be coming to a culmination and ending with that Aries full moon cycle. And then you can also move ahead when Aries goes direct. So right now for yourself, you're in a point of introspection. Perhaps you are also in this time of being hermetic and reclusive, going within and trying to tap into those emotional senses, where most of the times you're all in your head. Because we got cups as water, earth here with pentacles, Well, Pluto is water, and then the Hermit is Virgo, is earth. So there's no like fire in here, although Pluto was ruled by Mars, which is a fiery energy. I'm just looking at this. I really feel like for Libra, this month is like, last month we talked to you about being free of the emotions and stuff. This is the month you're putting the pedal to the metal, the impetus of change, where you're ready to come back out in the world. Because the Hermit secludes himself in his cave and only comes out at night with his little lantern and goes back and forth. You know, he's thinking, he's working, he's in tune with nature, himself, he's one with the universe. But after a time of his introspection, he's ready to come back out into the world, and he does. He returns into the world, okay? From this 9 energy, he ends his seclusion into the 10 energy, which is the Wheel of Fortune with Jupiter. Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and right now Jupiter's retrograde, and I told you dancing with Saturn and Pluto. So these kind of tie in, they do tie in together, where the next step will be the blessings, the expansion. And that's what Jupiter will bring once it moves direct for you too. So I really feel like this is the month for you to kick it. You know, like I said, your boots to the ground now. You're starting to move forward. You trust all the things that you have experienced in these last 8 months. All right, well, March to October, so it could have been some 7-8 months. But you're going forward, probably. You started to realize this in the time of September, Virgo. You're going forward now into October, November, like saying, okay, I trust my spidey senses. I know what I'm going to do. Emotionally, I'm feeling good right now. Mentally, I'm balanced, so I'm not feeling stressed. I'm grounded. My head's not in the clouds. I feel like I'm attached to my purpose here with this vessel, and I'm ready to start anew with the wisdom I didn't have before. So that's really nice. I think you're the only one who's gotten 2 majors right now, but there's a lot of forward momentum energy coming our way starting in October once Saturn goes direct. And you know, when Saturn moves into Aquarius December 17th, there's a 2-week shadow. And universe works it out. 14 days is the 31st of December. Click, clock, ends the, you know, like Father Time comes in with the new year, right? And that's Saturn. Old man time. Chronos. So then starting in January, when it's in Aquarius, it's all about freedom, where Saturn is prisons and restriction and government and reform. Aquarius, like, screw that. I'm free, I'm progressive, I'm a maverick, I'm dynamic, I am a rebel, I'm quirky and unusual, and I'm all about social love and coming together, organizations and helping people. You know, it briefly entered Aquarius, Saturn, in January after its sojourn in Capricorn for over 1.5 years. And then it went retrograde and we went into lockdown. So welcoming in this freedom as it enters Aquarius, I really feel by that time in December, you're going to start to feel it. But January, we're all going to be free from this Saturnian clasp that's been on us in Capricorn as it moves into Aquarius. And higher technology will take place as well with things regarding government and social reform and structures and organizations and the male-dominated society. There's going to be a whole new reform there. And you'll be witness to this, and you'll be ready for this. So I hope this does help you. And I thank you, everybody who's been watching and subscribing. If you haven't, please do so. And thanks for sharing and liking. I love doing readings for you guys, and it's great making connections through FaceTime, so keep that up. Have a great October if you celebrate Halloween. Be safe, have fun. We're all wearing masks anyway. Have a great October, and as next month I'll see you, hopefully. You'll tune in, and as always, I wish you the best.